Greetings, human life forms. I'm the Meister. Welcome back to yet another prediction video. Today we'll be doing the Cincinnati Bengals. Real quick before we get into this, I've done a prediction video for the majority of these teams. I just have the rest of the AFC North teams to go. So if you want to get caught up on the predictions, I have a playlist of them in the playlist tab, and there'll be a playlist at the end of the video that will bring you to the other videos that I've done. Of course, I'll finish up these predictions for every team. I'll make a playoff and Super Bowl prediction video. Sorry, I shook you. So yeah, there's that to look forward to before the season. The site that I'm using is NFLPlayoffPredictors.com. I'll leave a link to the site in the description below if you want to use your own predictions, because this site makes your predictions a lot easier, and it uses all the tiebreakers, it uses everything, so easiest site to use, easiest way to make predictions. So I highly recommend this site. I'll of course also leave my social media stuff in the description below as well. One of them is my Twitch that I stream on from time to time. Again, of course, link is in the description below. So let's get into this. The Cincinnati Bengals. I'm not a big fan of that defense. It doesn't look too good over there. They got a lot of young guys over there. So we'll see how they perform this coming season. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that Bengals defense. Offensively, though, for the Bengals, it could be sneaky good this year. They have Joe Mixon. I heard he could get a lot of carries this year at running back. And then, of course, at quarterback, you have Joe Burrow coming off a season-ending ACL, MCL, TCL, TLC injuries. So we'll see how he performs in year 2 and bounces back. Receiver position, of course, you have T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd there at receiver, of course, as well as Jamar Chase. He played with Joe Burrow back in college, so we'll see if that duo is just as strong as it was back in college. We'll see. Starting off the season, week 1, hosting the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings defensively, I think it could be pretty good this year. They did get a lot of injuries last year on defense. I think it could be really good this year. Not like top 5 or anything, but I still think they could be like top half of the group this year. Pretty solid. Offensively for the Vikings, they have a lot of playmakers in that offensive side of the ball. They have a great wide receiver duo in Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson proved to be a really solid wide receiver last year in his rookie season. Running back, they have one of the best running backs in the entire league, Dalvin Cook. And then you have Pro Bowl caliber quarterback Kirk Cousins. Yes, I said Pro Bowl caliber because he played pretty well last year, and he was pretty underrated last year. So, week 1, I think the Vikings will have their way with the Bengals defense. I'm going to give week 1 to the Vikings. Week 2 at Chicago to take on the Bears. Bears, another team with a really solid defense. I think they could definitely get to Joe Burrow in this game. Offensively for the Bears, they have a solid running back duo in David Montgomery and Tariq Cohen. Quarterback position, they have Andy Dalton, who is set to be the starter for week 1, so he'll probably be the starter for week 2. Wide receiver, most notably the biggest name, of course, there is Allen Robinson on that offense. And then, of course, they got Darnell Mooney there also at wide receiver. I am going to go Bears here, week 2. I think this could be a game where Khalil Mack gets to Joe Burrow quite a bit this game. So I'm going to go the Steelers. The Bears, week 2. I was looking ahead to week 3. Week 3 at Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. Steelers, another team with a solid defense. I keep saying this for every one of these teams that the Bengals are facing, but it's true. Vikings, Bears, and Steelers all have pretty solid defenses. Not as good as they have been past couple of years, but it's still pretty solid. As you can see, T.J. Watt is another big name that can get to Joe Burrow. Offensively for the Pittsburgh Steelers, we all know Ben Roethlisberger at quarterback with guys like Juju Smith-Schuster and Deontay Johnson to throw that ball to. And then, of course, at running back, they have Najee Harris, so we'll see how he performs in his rookie season. I am going to go Steelers here, week 3. It's another game I don't think matches up well with the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going to go Steelers there, week 3. Week 4, Thursday Night Football, hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars, we already know the stories on offense. Trevor Lawrence, number 1 pick. They drafted him this past year, as well as Travis Etienne, which I heard he could be a big receiving back, similar to Austin Eckler. That's what I heard they can use him for this year, because James Robinson has proven to be a pretty solid running back for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He rushed for 1,000 yards last season. In his rookie season, he was undrafted as well. So I really like James Robinson. Receiver position, they picked up Marvin Jones from the Detroit Lions. And then, of course, they still have DJ Shark there as well at wide receiver. Defensively, it could be better, but they still got a couple guys over there. Most notably Shaquille Griffin. They picked him up from the Seattle Seahawks for corner. I feel like I have names screwed up now because Dolphins signed a Shaquem Griffin. I'm pretty sure there's a Shaquille Griffin on that Jaguars team, though. I'll make sure to check that later. But, yeah, defensively, they still got Miles Jack. Obviously, we know how good he is. So, I'm going to go Bengals. Yeah, I'm going to go Bengals. I think Joe Mixon will have a good game this game, week 4. Oh, my God. I don't know why I keep doing that. Week 4, I'm going to go Bengals. Week 5, hosting the Green Bay Packers. We know the whole story now. Aaron Rodgers, he will be staying with the Green Bay Packers for this season, which means Devontae Adams will probably stay with the Packers this season as well, which also means Randall Cobb will probably be traded to the Packers before the season starts. Texans and Packers are already in talks to ship Randall Cobb over to Green Bay, so we'll see what happens there, but I'm going to go Packers. Packers are Super Bowl contending team. Bengals are a rebuilding team. I'm going to easily go Packers there week 5. Week 6 at Detroit to take on the Lions. Lions are a pretty rough team right now. They have a lot of young players on defense, which is why they didn't play good last year. We'll see if they play better this year. Offensively for the Lions, they have DeAndre Swift at running back. They're expecting big things from him. Quarterback, Jared Goff in that blockbuster QB trade with the Los Angeles Rams, acquiring Jared Goff in exchange for Matthew Stafford. So we'll see how good that trade works out. It's going to work out better for the Rams. But, yeah, week 6, I'm going to give that to the Bengals. Yeah, I'm sorry, Lions. It's nothing personal. It's just you suck. So, I'm sorry, but that had to be said. Week 7 at Baltimore to take on the Ravens. I'm going to go Ravens here pretty easily. Ravens have a really solid defense, another solid defense. Offensively is pretty darn good too. I'm going to go Ravens there week 7. Week 8 at New Jersey to take on the Jets. Jets are another rebuilding team just like the Bengals. Basically in like the same spot when it comes to standings. So I'm gonna lean toward the home team here. I'm gonna go Jets there week 8. Week 9 hosting the Cleveland Browns. Browns I really like. Offensively, I think it'll be one of the best offenses in the entire league. It's so balanced from when it goes to the wide receiver position, to the running back position, to even the quarterback position. I think Baker Mayfield can have a really good year this season. And defensively, I think is very underrated, especially with that Jadeveon Clowney move. They picked him up from the Tennessee Titans. Pairing him up with Myles Garrett, I think, will be an insane edge rushing threat. And of course, they also picked up John Johnson from the Los Angeles Rams at safety. Yeah, the Browns are just absolutely loaded. I'm going to go Browns there over the Bengals. Week 11, going out of the bye at 2-7, pretty terrible, but they're rebuilding. So, at Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. Raiders, I feel like I kind of was a little harsh on in my prediction video of them. If you didn't see it, obviously you could check the playlist of the teams. You'll find it easily there. I'm not gonna spoil the video because I want you guys to watch the video, obviously. But yeah, I feel kind of bad for what I did to the Raiders. But I still made the picks. So it's the problem with the Raiders is I can't trust that offensive line after what they did to that offensive line. They basically jumped through a table, the table being the offensive line. The person jumping through the table is the Las Vegas Raiders, busting that table, snapping it in half, and using scotch tape to try to put the table back together, but it's going to quickly fold as soon as the season starts. That's my issue with the Raiders. That's why I had them as the record that I did put them at. I am going to go Bengals here, week 11. Raiders are just a tough team, kind of, for me. They were last year, too. I had them for 2020 season. I had them at, winning 3 games, and they went 8-8. They definitely proved me wrong, but I just can't trust them, you know? Week 12, hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah, I don't think the Bengals will be able to split with the Steelers this season. I'm going to give this to the Steelers there, week 12. Week 13, hosting the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers can be a really good team this year. Offensively, I really like their offense. They have Austin Eckler running back. I think they have a really solid quarterback wide receiver duo with Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. I think that's going to be one of the better wide receiver duos in the league this year. And, of course, you got Justin Herbert at QB. And then defensively, they got a little banged up last year. I think they could definitely be better this year. I'm going to go Chargers here over the Bengals, week 13. Week 14, hosting the San Francisco 49ers. Yeah, it's an easy pick for me. I think that's an easy pick for everyone. 49ers are another stacked team. I don't think the Bengals have a chance there. Week 14. Week 15 at Denver to take on the Broncos. This game was a little tough for me to predict in my Broncos prediction video because obviously the whole quarterback situation. We did get the word that Drew Lock is currently getting the starting reps, as he should, in my opinion. I don't think the Broncos should give up on Drew Lock just yet, which is why they picked up Teddy Bridgewater, just in case Drew Lock does end up becoming a bust. So they have Teddy Bridgewater to make sure the season doesn't completely collapse. But defensively, I absolutely love. I think could be one of the best, if not the best, defense in the league this year. If they could just stay healthy, that's going to be an insane defense this year. I'm going to go Broncos there, week 15. Week 16, yeah, I don't think the Bengals can split the Ravens this year either. I'm going to go Ravens there, week 16. Week 17, hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah, that's another tough game, Bengals fans. That's another tough game. I'm going to go Chiefs there, week 17. To wrap up the season, week 18 at Cleveland to take on the Browns. Don't think Bengals can split with the Browns this year. I'm going to go Cleveland, week 18. To wrap up the Bengals season with a 3-14 record on the season. I think after this season, their head coach, I forget his name because no one's talking about him anymore. Zach Taylor. I think Zach Taylor will get fired after this season. They'll probably get a new head coach. I'm not a big fan of Zach Taylor. That's why I'm kind of saying that. there's a couple head coaches that I don't really like. There's Mike McCarthy, the Cowboys. Even Vic Fangio for the Denver Broncos, I'm not a fan of. David Coley, Houston Texans, Nick Sirianni, Eagles. There's a lot of head coaches that I'm not a fan of. Zach Taylor is one of them. He did a good job kind of building this offense. Defense is a different story. But yeah, 3-14 record for the Cincinnati Bengals. If you guys enjoyed the video, a like would always be appreciated. If you guys are looking forward to the rest of my prediction videos, I recommend subscribing and hitting the bell so you don't miss when I upload another prediction video. And with that, I don't have much else to say except Blake Forms, out.